JDW Blood Rumble 16th show of 2022 by Colton Dennis. Hello everyone and welcome to the 16th show of Blood Rumble. And I hope you're ready for tonight, said announcer number 1. I know I am. Because we're gonna find out the new number 1 contenders for the Blood Rumble's champions. And I can't wait, said announcer number 2. Me either. So, since we both can't wait, what do you say we head down to the ring? Asked announcer number 1. Let's do it then, said announcer number 2. Beldings. This match is scheduled for one fall, is an 8-woman battle royale, and is a number 1 contenders match for the ladies' championship. Introducing the challengers: Luna, Raven, Angel, Mantra, Obsession, Ivory, Gemini, and Tempest, said announcer number 3. Beldings. All 8 women are attacking each other. Raven is punching Gemini. Gemini is groaning. Raven bounces Gemini off of the ropes, then goes to clothesline her. Gemini ducks. Raven turns around. Gemini does a jumping cutter onto Raven. Gemini stands up. Tempest kicks Gemini's stomach. Gemini groans. Tempest bounces Gemini off of the ropes. Gemini holds onto the ropes. Tempest runs at Gemini. Gemini elbows Tempest. Tempest groans, then walks away. Gemini turns Tempest around, then does a jumping cutter onto her. Tempest groans. Mantra goes to spear Gemini. Gemini kicks Mantra's chest. Mantra groans, then stands up. Gemini does a jumping cutter onto Mantra. Angel appears on the second rope, then jumps at Gemini. Gemini quickly does a cutter onto Angel. Another cutter by Gemini, said announcer number 1. Gemini is just taking out the competition, said announcer number 2. Gemini stands up, then turns around. Obsession kicks Gemini's stomach. Gemini groans. Obsession lifts Gemini over her head. Luna kicks Obsession's stomach. Obsession groans, then drops Gemini. Gemini lands onto her feet, turns Obsession, then does a jumping cutter onto her. Obsession groans. Gemini stands up, then holds out her arms. Luna grabs Gemini, runs, then throws her over the top rope. Gemini lands onto the floor, then looks up at Luna. Sorry, said Luna. Angel slowly pulls herself up with the ropes. Luna turns around, sees Angel slowly standing up, then runs at her. Angel lifts Luna over the top rope. Luna lands onto the floor, then groans. There goes Luna, said announcer number 1. Luna stands up outside of the ring, then turns around. Gemini does a jumping cutter onto Luna onto the floor. A cutter onto the floor, said announcer number 2. Look out, Angel, said announcer number 1. Angel is smiling, then turns around. Obsession lifts Angel over her head, then throws her onto Gemini. Angel's eliminated, said announcer number 2. Mantra is slowly standing up. Ivory runs from behind Mantra, grabs her, then throws her over the top rope. Mantra lands onto the floor. Since they all ended up getting a cutter, they're very vulnerable now, said announcer number 1. Well, Ivory didn't get a face cutter actually, said announcer number 2. Raven stands up, then goes to clothesline Tempest. Tempest ducks, runs, then bounces off of the ropes. Raven turns around. Tempest does a diving forearm onto Raven. Raven groans. And quat, Tempesture and quat, connects, said announcer number 1. Tempest stands up, picks Raven up, then throws her over the top rope. Raven lands onto the floor. Raven's gone, said announcer number 2. Obsession is punching Ivory. Ivory is groaning. Obsession bounces Ivory off of the ropes, then lifts her over her head. Ivory is shaking her head. Obsession turns around. Tempest kicks Obsession's stomach. Obsession groans, then drops Ivory. Ivory lands onto her feet. Tempest is punching Obsession, then bounces her off of the ropes. Obsession reverses it. Tempest bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring. Obsession goes to clothesline Tempest. Tempest ducks, then bounces off of the ropes again. Obsession turns around. Tempest does a diving forearm onto Obsession. Obsession groans, then slowly stands up. Tempest bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, then clotheslines Obsession over the top rope. Obsession lands onto the floor. "There goes Obsession," said announcer number 1. "Good riddance," said announcer number 2. "We're down to 2, said announcer number 1. Ivory runs at Tempest. Tempest lifts Ivory over the top rope. Ivory lands onto the ledge of the ring. Tempest turns around. Ivory punches Tempest. Tempest groans, then punches Ivory. Ivory groans, then sways on the ledge of the ring. "Hold on, Ivory," said announcer number 2. "You're rooting for Ivory?" asked announcer number 1. "Actually, whoever wins. I just don't want anyone to get hurt while on the ledge," said announcer number 2. Tempest punches Ivory. Ivory groans, then sways on the ledge of the ring again. Tempest goes to punch Ivory again. Ivory blocks, grabs Tempest's head, then hangs it off the top rope. Tempest groans, then falls onto her knees. Ivory pulls herself up onto the ledge of the ring, walks towards the corner, then climbs up the turnbuckle. Tempest sees Ivory climbing up the turnbuckle, quickly standing up, runs, then does a forearm onto Ivory. Ivory groans, then lays on the top turnbuckle. Tempest grabs Ivory, then throws her off the top turnbuckle. Ivory bounces off the ledge of the ring, then lands onto the floor. "Beldings, here's your winner, Tempest," said announcer number 3. "Tempest won. Congratulations to her," said announcer number 1. "Do you know what this means? Tempest could be the very first 2-time ladies champion," said announcer number 2. "That's if she could beat Willow. Willow's been a great champion, and I don't think she's gonna stop her winning streak," said announcer number 1. "Beldings, this match is scheduled for one fall. Is a tag team battle royale. The first team to eliminate both members of their opponents wins, and is a number 1 contenders match for the tag team championships. Introducing the challengers first, Gargoyle and Havoc, and their opponents, Morphos and Hellfire," said announcer number 3. "Beldings, both Hellfire and Morphos are staring at both Gargoyle and Havoc. Havoc looks at Gargoyle, then smiles. Gargoyle looks at Havoc. Havoc climbs over the top rope, lands onto the ledge of the ring, then jumps onto the floor. Havoc just eliminated himself," said announcer number 1. "I don't think he wants to be a tag champion. Not unless it's with his new friend," said announcer number 2. "So, Gargoyle is now left with Morphos and Hellfire," said announcer number 1. Morphos runs at Gargoyle. Gargoyle head butts Morphos' chest. Morphos groans. Gargoyle picks Morphos, then throws him over the top rope. Morphos lands onto the floor. "Nice try, Morphos," said announcer number 2. Gargoyle turns around. Hellfire does a throat thrust onto Gargoyle. Gargoyle groans. Hellfire continuously punching Gargoyle. Gargoyle continuously groaning. Hellfire whips Gargoyle. Gargoyle reverses it. Hellfire goes into the corner. Gargoyle runs at Hellfire. Hellfire boots Gargoyle. Gargoyle staggers away, then turns around. Hellfire runs out of the corner, then clotheslines Gargoyle hard. Gargoyle lands onto the mat, then groans. Hellfire just knocked Gargoyle off of his feet, said announcer number 1. Not many people could knock that bug guy down, said announcer number 2. Hellfire goes through the middle rope, then climbs up the turnbuckle. This is dangerous. You fall off of there. You're eliminated, said announcer number 1. Hellfire gets to the top turnbuckle. Gargoyle stands up. Hellfire jumps off the top turnbuckle, then goes for a flying clothesline onto Gargoyle. Gargoyle moves. Hellfire lands face first onto the mat, then groans. Hellfire missed, said announcer number 2. Hellfire stands up in the corner. Gargoyle runs at Hellfire, then does a corner body splash onto him. Hellfire groans, then walks out of the corner. Gargoyle lifts Hellfire, then slams him onto the mat. Hellfire groans. Gargoyle runs, bounces off of the ropes, then does a body splash onto Hellfire. Hellfire groans. The body splash connects. Now all Gargoyle needs to do is eliminate Hellfire, said announcer number 1. I have a question. If Gargoyle wins, doesn't that mean Havoc does too? Asked announcer number 2. Yeah, and that'll be an awkward partnership, said announcer number 1. Hellfire pulls himself up with the ropes. Gargoyle is watching Hellfire, then goes to bounce off of the ropes. On the opposite side of the ring, Havoc pulls down the top rope. Gargoyle goes over the top rope, then lands onto the floor. Bell dings. Here's your winners, Hellfire and Morphos, said announcer number 3. Thanks to Havoc, he eliminated his own partner, said announcer number 1. Gargoyle looks up at Havoc. Havoc is walking up the ramp, smiles, then waves at Gargoyle. Gargoyle makes a mean look at Havoc. Well, Gargoyle's definitely pissed off, said announcer number 2. Wouldn't you be? Asked announcer number 1. Yeah, said announcer number 2. Bell dings. This match is scheduled for one fall, and is a 4-man battle royale, and is a number 1 contenders match for the US Continental Championship. Introducing the challengers, Hercules, Wolf, Smite, and the Governor, said announcer number 3. Bell dings. All 4 men are attacking each other. Wolf is punching the Governor. The Governor is groaning. Wolf bounces the Governor off of the ropes, then goes to clothesline him. The Governor ducks, then bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring. Wolf turns around. The Governor spears Wolf. Wolf groans. Hercules is punching Smite, then whips him. The Governor spears Smite, then looks up at Hercules. Here's a fight waiting to happen, said announcer number 1. Both Hercules and the Governor start punching each other. The Governor knees Hercules' stomach. Hercules groans. The Governor continuously hits Hercules' back. Hercules continuously groaning. Then walks towards the corner. The Governor approaches Hercules, then kicks his stomach. Hercules groaning. The Governor whips Hercules. Hercules reverses it. The Governor goes into the opposite corner, groans, runs out of it, then spears Hercules. Did you just see that spear? Governor took Hercules down in a second, said announcer number 2. The Governor stands up. Wolf stands up, then turns around. The Governor runs at Wolf, then spears him again. Wolf groans. Smite stands up. The Governor runs at Smite, then spears him again. Governor has taken over, said announcer number 1. The Governor looks at Hercules. Hercules is slowly standing up. The Governor runs at Hercules. Hercules does a back Elbow onto the governor. The governor groans, then falls to his knees. "Oh, what a back elbow," said announcer number 2. The governor is holding his jaw. Hercules turns the governor around, then lifts him over his head. "Look at the strength of Hercules," said announcer number 1. Hercules walks towards the ropes. The governor is squirming, lands onto his feet behind Hercules, then runs. Hercules turns around. The governor bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, then clotheslines Hercules and himself over the top rope. Both Hercules and the governor land onto the floor. "There goes both Hercules and the governor," said announcer number 2. "We're down to 2, said announcer number 1. Wolf stands up, sees Smite slowly standing up in the corner, runs, then jumps at him. Smite moves. Wolf lands onto the top turnbuckle. He lays onto it, then slides down onto the ledge of the ring. Smite stands up, bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, then runs at Wolf. Wolf shoulder blocks Smite's stomach. Smite groans. Wolf sets Smite up for a suplex, then lifts him. Smite is squirming, then lands inside of the ring. Wolf punches Smite's right side, then lifts him up. Again. Smite is squirming, then lands inside of the ring again, grabs Wolf's head, then hangs him off the top rope. Wolf falls off the ledge of the ring, then lands onto the floor. Beldings. "Here's your winner, Smite," said announcer number 3. Smite gets another opportunity at Drake for the U.S. Continental Championship, said announcer number 1. "Let's hope he could beat Drake finally," said announcer number 2. "Hopefully, because this could be his last chance to." "Well, folks, we made it to the main event," said announcer number 1. "Beldings. This match is scheduled for one fall, is a 5-man battle royale, and is a number 1 contenders match for the Galaxy Championship. Introducing the challengers, Dynamite, the Pursuer, Crazy Eyes, Domino and Ghost Kicker," said announcer number 3. "Beldings. All 5 men are attacking each other. Dynamite is punching Crazy Eyes. Crazy Eyes is groaning, then knees Dynamite's stomach. Dynamite groans. Crazy Eyes bounces Dynamite's head off the top turnbuckle. Dynamite groans. Crazy Eyes continuously kicking Dynamite. Dynamite is sliding down the corner. Crazy Eyes puts his boot onto Dynamite's face. Dynamite continues groaning. "Man, Crazy Eyes is taking it too." "Dynamite," said announcer number 1. "I think they're trying to out-crazy each other," said announcer number 2. Crazy Eyes walks backwards out of the corner, then turns around. Domino does a running knee onto Crazy Eyes. Crazy Eyes groans. Domino pucks Crazy Eyes up, then throws him over the top rope. Crazy Eyes lands onto the floor. "There goes Crazy Eyes," said announcer number 1. "Yeah, I'm not the first one eliminated. I'm no longer unlucky," said Domino, turning around. Ghost Kicker runs at Domino, then clotheslines him over the top rope. Domino lands onto the floor. "Well, I guess he's still unlucky," said announcer number 2. "I would say," said announcer number 1. Ghost Kicker turns around. The Pursuer kicks Ghost Kicker's stomach, then sets him up for a DDT. "Here it comes," said announcer number 2. Ghost Kicker twists the Pursuer's right arm, then clotheslines him. The Pursuer groans. Ghost Kicker waves at the Pursuer. The Pursuer is slowly moving. Dynamite turns Ghost Kicker around. Ghost Kicker kicks the left side of Dynamite's head. Dynamite groans, then falls onto the mat. "What a kick by Ghost Kicker," said announcer number 1. Ghost Kicker turns around. The Pursuer stands up, then turns around. Ghost kicker. Goes for a side kick to the head of the pursuer. The pursuer ducks. Ghost kicker turns back around. The pursuer kicks ghost kicker's stomach, sets him up for DDT, then does an impaler DDT into him. And quat. Half NDS and quat. Connects, said announcer number 2. The pursuer picks ghost kicker up, then throws him over the top rope. Ghost kicker lands onto the floor. We're down to 2, said announcer number 1. The pursuer turns around. Dynamite runs at the pursuer, clotheslines him over the top rope, then walks away. The pursuer is holding onto the top rope, pulls himself up onto the ledge of the ring, then rolls inside of the ring. Dynamite, stop celebrating, said announcer number 2. Dynamite turns around, sees the pursuer, then goes to punch him. The pursuer blocks, then punches Dynamite. Dynamite groans. The pursuer continuously punches Dynamite. Dynamite continuously groaning. The pursuer bounces Dynamite off of the ropes. Dynamite twists the pursuer's left arm, then knees his stomach. The pursuer groans. Dynamite sets the pursuer up for a famouser. Will it connect? Asked announcer number 1. Dynamite jumps up. The pursuer lifts Dynamite up for a powerbomb. Oh my god. Pursuer revered it, said announcer number 2. The pursuer lifts Dynamite up. Dynamite lands onto his feet behind the pursuer. The pursuer turns around. Dynamite does a back elbow onto the pursuer. The pursuer groans. Dynamite goes through the middle rope, then climbs up the turnbuckle. The pursuer punches Dynamite. Dynamite groans, then sways on the turnbuckle. The pursuer climbs onto the second rope, then continuously punches Dynamite. Dynamite continuously groaning. They need to be careful. 1 false move and their careers could be over or worse, said announcer number 1. The pursuer sets Dynamite up for a suplex. Dynamite blocks suplex, then punches the pursuer. The pursuer is groaning. Dynamite head butts the pursuer. The pursuer is swaying on the second rope, then punches Dynamite. Dynamite is swaying, then punches the pursuer. The pursuer continues swaying. Both Dynamite and the pursuer headbutt each other. The pursuer falls onto the mat. Dynamite falls off the top turnbuckle, bounces off the ledge of the ring, groans, rolls off of it, then lands onto the floor. Bell dings. Here's your winner, the pursuer, said announcer number 3. The pursuer gets another shot at the man, said announcer number 1. And let's hope he takes it from him, said announcer number 2. Oh no, look, said announcer number 1, pointing. Both Havoc and the man are walking down the ramp, then slide into the ring. The pursuer stands up, then tackles the man. Havoc starts hitting the pursuer's back. The pursuer is groaning. It's a 2-on-1. How fair is that? Asked announcer number 2. It's not, said announcer number 1. Set him up, said the man. Havoc picks the pursuer up, then sets him up for underhook DDT. No, not this, said announcer number 2. The crowd starts cheering. Gargoyle slides into the ring. Havoc turns around. Gargoyle punches Havoc. The man jumps through the middle ropes. Gargoyle looks at Havoc. Havoc stands up, then turns around. Gargoyle head butts Havoc's chest. Havoc falls onto the mat, then groans. Gargoyle is staring at the man. The man stares back at Gargoyle. Gargoyle runs, bounces off of the ropes, then does a jumping body splash onto Havoc. Havoc groans. Well, thanks to Gargoyle for coming down and saving pursuer. Who knows what they would have done, said announcer number 1. Yeah, probably injure pursuer more, said announcer number 2. Well folks, We want to thank you for watching. B. Safe out there and good night, said announcer number 1. Bye bye, said announcer number 2, waving. Both Gargoyle and the pursuer are staring at both Havoc and the man. The man raises the title. The end.